Hello, it's Maureen Legas with your 21 Days 2017 series, and today is day 14. Today we're going to talk about the menu tabs, some tips for using menu tabs, best practices, how to set those up, how to add things to a drop-down for a menu item, basically everything menus. So let's go over to your Playster site. When you sign into My KW, if you sign directly into your NAR Playster site, on KW, go to KW Websites, go to the website here. Then we're going to click to edit the site down here. We're going to select the site we want to edit. And then under Site Settings, we're going to come down here to the menu. And if you click menu, you're going to notice that on this menu, there are some items that are all the way to the left side of the page and some that are indented. Those that are indented are the drop down, the sub menus. So on my website, I'll see an item for home, I'll see something for communities, and then if I roll over communities, I'll see Lakewood Ranch, and then I'll see something that's communities. But what it says is view all communities. This is the label that I want to appear. This is the page name, so the page is called communities. The label is called view all communities. So I should see home communities, and under communities, Lakewood Ranch and view all communities. So if I go over to the website, I see home communities, roll over Lakewood Ranch, view all communities, which is what I would see right here. Okay, so when you add these things to your menu, where do they come from? Well, when you are configuring your website, you're adding up here pages, blog posts, maybe testimonials. You might add your areas, which are communities. And when you add those, your menu stacks them up down here at the bottom. Let me get down here to show you. Down here at the bottom. And if you click on this, you can see all of the different pages that were added. And those are the things that are available to add to your menu. So I come back here. If I want to add, let's say I want to add a community page to my menu for Riverwalk. I click Riverwalk and I add it. And then it shows up here. It's all the way to the left. It's not a sub-menu. Well, Riverwalk is a community. So if I want to keep that here, I might want to add it under the community section. So in order to do that, I'm going to grab Riverwalk, I'm going to roll over it till I see that it has that cursor to move, and I'm going to drag it up my menu. I'm going to keep going up towards the top until I reach the communities section, and then what I can do is either put it in the location I want it, or I can drop it over on top of the communities bar and it'll drop it underneath. So there's Riverwalk. This one says view all communities. This one says Riverwalk. And I notice that I have this little arrow on my pages. And I've done that so that if I have something that is a multiple line drop down, like down payment assistance, it lets the people know that are using the site that that's one item. It's not down payment for one item and assistance for another. Down payment assistance, new home, builder update, this month in real estate, that's its own item. And so I put that little arrow. So if I come back here and I want to have Riverwalk there, I might put a little arrow and a space. And Lakewood Ranch, Riverwalk is in Lakewood Ranch, Riverwalk in Lakewood Ranch. I might have that as the full name. The tooltip is the thing that appears when you hover over the item. So if I hover over listing search, it says listing search. If I hover over resources, it says view our list of real estate resources. If I hover over down payment assistance, new home information, that's the stuff that shows up there for each of these items. And so where you get that little piece of information would be here under tooltip. So if I move Riverwalk, I put it up here. So that way, communities is the last thing they see, that they would see Lakewood Ranch, Riverwalk, and then view all communities. And then I save this menu it'll show up there. Let me save this down here. And I come back to my menu and I refresh the screen. And I roll over communities. Now I have Lakewood Ranch, Riverwalk and Lakewood Ranch, or view all communities. Now if we go along here, we see that some of these, like resources, look how long this is. If someone was on a mobile phone, this is way too much to be put under resources on here, because it's would not have a good experience for someone on a mobile device. So what you would want to do is what I did like with communities, put a couple of communities, view all communities, put a couple of resources, view all resources. And that way it won't be as cumbersome on a mobile device for people. You also want to make sure that your menu line doesn't pass one line. So on this particular theme, my menu is just on one line. This is the Plymouth theme. If I were to change it to a different theme, this could end up being 2 or 3 lines, and that you'd have to just pay attention to and make sure for a good experience that you have it on one line across the top. All right, let's go back to the menu. So some of the things you might want to display on your menu. You want to have a home button, so anywhere on your website they can always get to the home page. You may want communities that are split up based on areas that you service, so that if someone is specifically looking for, let's say, Lakewood Ranch, they can click here, find Lakewood Ranch. I might add Sarasota to that. I might add Bradenton to that, because those are areas that are sought after. So if I come down here and find Sarasota, I add that and I move that up, and that's only now a couple of things under the communities. Lakewood Ranch, Sarasota, Riverwalk. I might take Riverwalk off, that's too specific. Yep, delete Riverwalk, but I might want to add Bradenton to there so that people can find the communities that they're most comfortable or that they know are in this area. Let me see if I can find Bradenton. Add it. Move it up to the top. And Sarasota, Lakewood Ranch, Bradenton. And now I have a few communities, and then I have view all communities. Now I'm going to save this. I'm going to go back to the menu. I'm going to show you one other thing, and this is a common mistake people make. When you're looking at the menus, you can only have one cascading menu. You can't run over Client Portal and have a bunch under Client Portal. You can't have resources and under New Home have information about new homes. There's only one way to be able to put, or one cascade, one thread that comes under the main menu item. So when you're here, if someone tried to move communities under, or move, let's say you want to move home value under Sarasota, it won't let me. It won't let me do that. I can't roll over Sarasota. And so sometimes people will say, I can't move my menus. It won't let me move it. Just make sure you're not trying to move menus under a sub-menu. It won't work. You can only move it under a main menu item. So if I wanted to move home value under communities, it would let me do it. But it won't let me move home value. If I move home value under communities, it lets me, but it won't let me move it under Bradenton or Sarasota. It just lets me put it next to, in line with those. Okay. So what are the things, what are the types of things you want on your menu? So a home page, some communities, you can have your blog. If you're a blogger, you can have your blogs show up on a menu item. Listing search, favorite listings. This is a client portal where they would sign in and be able to access saved listings. If there's new construction links that you have, using the mobile app, searching specific areas. Under resources, let me see here. Under resources, you would have, we have some down payment assistance and new home builder updates available through our board. So if you have that, you can add those. This month in real estate is a resource, and you put the code in there that updates automatically so that it's current. So if I go and look at the resources this month in real estate, it should be the current version, which should be for this month. So let's see what it says. Okay.
Welcome to This Month in Real Estate for November 2017.
So that's the November. We should get the updated December soon, and that would keep current on your site. So that would be a resource as well. Some about information, and that's for sellers, about your team. Some testimonials. I create a form for leave a testimonial, and that's under the form section here. Leave a testimonial, and then you can use the link from this page to direct people to leave a testimonial for you. So if you use Google Forms to create this form asking for testimonial, then take this link, and then that's what you can send to your clients, or you could put it in your email signature line, post it on social media, and that's something that you might want to have on your site. A contact us link, you should have that, and then I just have some technology things on my site. So these are the kind of things that you want to have on your site. You don't want it to be any busier than one line across. You really want to keep it limited to some amount like this underneath and not this many underneath. And then that makes it for a good experience whether they're on a mobile device or on a laptop. All right, we have a couple more days of tips for Playster. We'll see you tomorrow.